All right.
We on?
Yeah.
Sorry. Welcome everybody. So excited to be here on our weekly Tuesday night Zoom training for our True Freedom team all over the world. And my name is Sam Flake from Snowflake, Arizona, Pro 8 and Life Vantage. My wife, Vandy Flake. We've been doing this for about 6.5 years and absolutely love it. Lots of time freedom, lots of ability to help other people, helping them with their health, their finances. And our goal with this is as a place to come together as a community of our team to bring people on. The hour before this, and you should have got an email on it and text messages about it if it was passed on as it should have been. I'm doing a weekly PowerPoint presentation webinar through Zoom with the same link, and it's just my phone number, 928-229-0123, or you can click the link that is sent out, and I'll do that at an hour before this each week, and then at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, at 9 o'clock Eastern, and so on and so forth throughout the country. At this hour, we do my weekly Zoom training. And tonight, my kids have a piano and a choir performance. So I want to just make a couple announcements and then introduce our special guest presenter tonight, who I'm super excited to introduce you guys to. If you do want the recording that I did for my presentation to share with prospects, it's going to be on my YouTube channel shortly. You can look there or reach out to me to get that. Make sure, if you haven't, you're registered for Life Vantage Academy in January, the third weekend of January. And also make sure that you're registered for the Global Convention. If you came in on a platinum pack or a gold pack, you're going to already have that ticket. 2 tickets for the platinum pack. So also, and this we haven't been promoting as much as we need to be. And I hope that we start doing this and everyone starts doing it with their teams, because I see Carrie Dickey's team and some of their teams have a lot of people at these incentive trips. And guys, this next incentive trip to me is going to be the very, very best incentive trip the company's ever had, because they are doing an incentive trip. Everyone who qualifies for it, you can find the details on the website of your back office, I believe, who goes to everybody who hits this incentive by the end of February will go to Kauai in next year, I believe in May. And you don't just get to go there for 5 days with a guest, everything paid for, and activities and everything, but also corporate and all of the elites who have qualified and attend will be there. Pro 7s, the Pro 8s, Pro 9s, and 10s. You get to meet with them, talk with them, participate with them. And don't forget also, we have a Freedom, the kickoff tour for brand new year, January 9th and 10th, all around the country. Go to bigbluecalendar.com to check out where the elite distributors are coming closest to you. I've actually been asked to go to Mexico, which kind of blows me away. I know a little bit of Spanish, but I guess it's going to get better. January 9th and 10th, I'm going to be in Puerto Vallarta on January 9th. And man, they're paying for me to go to Cancun. So we just decided to buy an extra ticket. My wife's going to go with me, but I'm going to be in Cancun on January 10th. So if you have anybody in those markets or areas, go ahead and send them our way and let me know, and I'll reach out to them when I'm down there. So January 9th and 10th, third Saturday of the week for Life Vantage Academy. You can also get registered for the February one, be an example to your team, promote the heck out of those things, and let's make 2017 the absolute best year we've ever had, but let's start it tonight. And we're going to do that by kicking off with an awesome presenter, Pro 5 Alisan Parnes out of Georgia. She's a veterinarian. She's a mom. She's got 2 boys. Her husband. They've been working together. They have an amazing story. Never done network marketing, just like myself. And I'm going to let her tell you her story. And then she has a very, very special training to help everybody on this call tonight and whoever listens to the recording. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you guys to Miss Alisan Parnes. And Alisan, ahead of time, thank you so much. I have to jump off to go to my kids' piano performance. Thank you so much for, if this was last second, I asked her last night if she could do this for me because of my kids' performance tonight. So Alisan, thank you, and welcome to our weekly Zoom training tonight. Go ahead and take it away.
Have
We'll see
fun.
you guys.
Have fun. Okay, bye. All right. Well, hi, you guys. Thank you so much for being on the call and or the video. This is really still kind of new for me, and I'm getting used to doing the video stuff. But, you know, I got Sam's text this morning, actually, and my instinct was to run away. No, I don't want to do it. And I can't remember which training I heard, but it was somebody saying, you know, leaders always show up. And I was like, dang it. I can make an excuse, but I need to show up. So, somebody's talking. I can't tell who that is. So if you guys can mute, okay. So anyway, I said I got to show up for Sam. You know, he's been an awesome mentor to me and helped our team so much. So I'm happy to do this, and this is stretching me a little bit. And one of the things that I really feel like I need to work on is just my teaching and training ability. So I hope this provides value to you guys. So a little bit about me for those who don't know me. As Sam said, I am a veterinarian. I've been practicing for 14 years in Atlanta, Georgia. I have two amazing sons who are 9 and 13, and my husband and I have been married for 16 years. And, you know, I absolutely love being a vet. It's what I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. And I love my job, and I love the relationships that I have with my clients. I love taking care of animals. But about 6 years ago now, both of my sons were diagnosed with a genetic kidney disease. And it really hit us out of the blue, kind of just shifted our priorities big time. And, you know, what I ended up finding was that, you know, with having to do a lot of extra things for my children, medical problems, school problems, you know, stuff where I needed more time off to be with them. I didn't have the balance, trying to juggle being a vet, being a mom, and doing everything that I needed to do. And so I was really looking for a way to kind of be my own boss, but I knew I didn't want to own a practice because it would take me away from my kids even more. And so I tried a couple of different things. You know, I'm certified in acupuncture, veterinary acupuncture, and I thought, well, maybe I'll start a business with that. And, you know, it just wasn't going to be lucrative enough, and it's still trading time for dollars. And so when this came into my life, when LifeVantage came into my life, it was through a good friend of mine who I graduated vet school with. And, you know, really she brought it to me because of the science and the product and what it was doing for her patients. And when I learned about it and researched it, I got super excited because I thought, you know, this is something that could really help not only my patients, but my sons and my family members. And so, you know, I decided to try it, and we had some incredible results with it, with my youngest son. And I just decided, you know what, I got to share this with people. And so I'd never done network marketing, and I got in, you know, just jumped in, figured I'd learn how to do it as I went. And that's really what's happened. And, you know, it is something that it's just stretched me in so many ways, just the skills that I never would have ever developed, you know, as a vet. I mean, I didn't know anything about business. I didn't, you know, the focus was never on personal development. And that's one thing that I love about this business, is that it really has stretched me as a person. It's made me really learn new things and get out of my comfort zone and deal with some, you know, fears and issues that I've had my whole life, and tackling that and just having a different mindset. And I think that's just so key if you're going to have success, is you've got to just be willing to do something new and stretch yourself. And it's hard, you know, but I always think if I'm scared to do something, that probably means I should do it, including this training. So I really appreciate Sam for asking me to do this. And I wanted to share a couple of things. I don't know if we'll have time to get into all of it, but I went to the Eric Worre's Go Pro event in Vegas. And I didn't go last year, so this was my first time. And, you know, I could have found a million reasons not to go, but I'd never been to Vegas. And I thought, well, it'll at least be a cool weekend away with my husband in Vegas. You know, we'll leave the kids. But I will tell you, it was the most incredible event. I learned so much from the speakers there, just the caliber of speakers from from all different companies and backgrounds. I mean, not only Eric Worre, but Tony Robbins and Richard Branson, and brought back a ton of just things that I learned and took a ton of notes. So I kind of wanted to start off first, and I'm going to have to read my notes a little bit, but start off first with just the power of intention, because I feel like that truly is something that we all need to have, especially going into a new year. What our intention is for our lives and our families and our, and our career and our financial situation. And these are things that we should all be thinking about, as in what the goals we're going to set for ourselves for this upcoming year, and start working towards those goals now. Prior to going to this event, October and November were pretty rough months for me. I was really kind of losing my passion and drive in terms of the business side, not the product, but I was just kind of in a rut, and this truly did recharge my battery. And it just, to me, even said more and more how important these events are, the Elite Academies, the trainings to refuel and recharge that battery. And so when I came back, I guess the biggest take homes for me in terms of just the power of intention was that, all these guys, I mean, everybody that spoke, they're $1 million plus earners, okay, in their own companies. They are entrepreneurs. Some people are $1 billion earners. And all of them had a very common theme of, you have got to make personal development a priority. And they talked about how, really, that's so much more valuable than any inventory you could have in your, home as far as products, is just investing in yourself and looking at it as an investment and not an expense. Because I do have some people that have said to me, I'm not making enough money to be able to justify going to, Elite Academy. And even if they've been to several, I just can't justify this. I'm still in the red. I'm not making the money. And, to me, and what I learned in going to this event is that it's totally an employee mindset, because they're still thinking of, I'm working my 2 weeks and I'm not getting a paycheck, versus thinking long-term 2 to 5 years down the road. And everybody has their own, their own preparation they have to go through in order to do this business. And some people have been prepared in other jobs, and they may come into network marketing and just kill it right away. And some people have no clue, and they have a lot of personal development to go through. And it's going to take a lot of events to kind of get them comfortable with some of these concepts. And so that was just the one thing that they said, is make personal development truly a priority, and to set an annual budget for what you're going to spend on your personal development, in trainings and books and seminars, online courses, things like that. And then just to have a vision for where you want to go and what you want to change, and to have a compelling reason that's going to pull you there instead of push you there. So, whereas you might say, okay, I want to make X amount of dollars in the next year. I want to, make more money, something generic. You can even apply it to like losing weight. But you need to have okay, so what would your life look like if you made X amount of dollars? If you were able to pay off debt, what would you be able to do? Would you be able to travel? And so having that vision of, this is what I want to do or make, but then this is what my life would look like, which is going to make it more compelling for you to work towards that. And then being intentional in what you put in your brain, feeding your brain daily. And this is one thing that I think is so important, because we see it's so easy to get sucked into news and to Facebook, threads of tragedies happening all over the world. And it gets into your psyche, and it starts to bring you down. And it's really important for you to guard those thoughts and guard what's going into your brain, and really to feed your brain with positive messaging all the time. Be intentional about the books you read, be intentional about what you're listening to. One of the things that I thought was really cool that Eric Worre said is, he said that, there's tons of audiobooks out there and YouTube videos of different speakers, motivational speakers. And he said that there was some study that was shown that passive listening, just having like a motivational speaker talking, like while you're driving the car or just cooking or doing anything else, and you're not even really actively listening to them, but just having this passive listening going on in the background actually is almost as powerful and effective as active listening, which I thought was really cool. So that he just talked about, if you're driving in your car, instead of putting on the radio, just throw on like some Jim Rohn or, whatever, Tony Robbins or whatever your person is. And even if you're in your head and you're not really actively listening to the message, that it goes into your subconscious. And so I just thought that was really cool. And because I always think, well, I have all these things, but I'm just not in the mindset or the mind frame to listen to it. But just passively listening to it, it will get in there more than you realize. So the other thing about just being intentional is in actually one of the women's panel that spoke. There was a woman named Susan Sly who was awesome. She actually started network marketing career with Eric Worre like 38 years ago or something. And she is she travels all over the world speaking. And they were giving their pieces of advice. And she said her biggest piece of advice was to have positive associations, to guard your associations, to associate with people that are like who you want to be. She said that is the key, because we've all heard that saying, you're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. And she just said that, that was the key to success for her. And she used the example of, we're all scared of no's, but depending on who you're talking to, you might be a no's a no. So if you're talking to like the homeless guy on the park bench with no money, going nowhere, and, drinking his life away, and he tells you no, then it's a no. If you're talking to someone who has, all the potential in the world, who's gunning for like the next president or whatever, super high achiever, and that person tells you no, it's still a no. But she said, think about the drastic difference it would be if those people told you yes. If the drunk guy on the park bench says yes, do you realize how miserable your life is going to be trying to help this person? Versus the other person. So just talking about, if you're only associating yourself with people that are going to lift you up and inspire you, and that are like who you want to be, then if 95% of them tell you no, who cares? The 5% of those that tell you yes, you're going to be surrounding yourself with world-class people. And that's what she said she's done. She goes, I'm surrounded by literally everybody in my life are people that lift me up, that are people that are better than me, that teach me. And I don't think about the 95%, of the other people that told me no. So I just thought that was a pretty powerful thing, and being intentional there, because unfortunately, people that are bringing in drama all the time, it's going to affect you. It is. And you've got to, you don't have to be mean, but you have got to cut that out. You've got to cut it out of your daily, habits of being around that energy, because that energy is going to be infectious to you. So, that's a hard one. That's a hard one sometimes, because we love our friends and our family, and sometimes you do have to separate yourself if you want to become that person that is not always drowning in that. So be intentional with your activity, and activity is key in this business. I love the analogy of just because you join a gym doesn't mean you're going to develop muscles. You've got to lift the weights. And so you've got to set a plan for your daily activity. And again, this can apply to anything, building a business or losing weight, I like to say, because you can't manage what you don't measure. And so one thing that when I came back from the GoPro event that I decided to do, which I hadn't been doing, was just tracking my daily activity. And because it's really actually amazing, just in the last week, writing stuff down where you look back and you're like, wow, I did reach out to all these people, and actually pushes you to reach out to people, because you have to fill in the blanks. There's this, I don't know if y'all can see this, but this daily tracking sheet in our back office library. And it's got, the month you fill in, and it's got each day. And you just basically fill that out with the names of people that you've contacted. And you can flip it on the back and write down your follow-ups. But this is a way to hold you accountable. And, really looking at your, daily tracking sheet and say, well, if I look at, say, the last week, if everybody in my team was doing what I did in the last week, what would my organization look like? So if you've had nothing going on for the last week, then you could have to look at yourself and say, well, how can I expect my team to do this? Or how can I expect my organization to grow if I'm not actually out there doing it? Because the leader is going to be doing the things they're asking their team to do. They're going to be leading, with the charge. And so I think that's a really important thing, to keep yourself accountable by writing down your daily activities. The other thing that I started doing, I think Rachel's actually on the call tonight, but I challenged her this week. Rachel's on my team, and she is like just, awesome. And I just said, Rachel, let's reach out to 5 new people this week. You text me when you do, and I'll text you when I do. And just let's hold each other accountable. And, it's fun. You kind of have that, partner doing it with you, and like, okay, well, who did you reach out to? And I'm like, if someone's ahead, you can be like, oh, I got to work, I got to keep up with her. So having that accountability, I think is really awesome. And then, just having different maybe incentives and things that you can offer your team. We were doing a Zoom training last month where we sent out the link to the Zoom training to different people. And in that Zoom training, there was a password that was announced in the video. And we just said, if you send this link out, just ask people to take a look at it. And if they do, and they text you back with the password, they're going to be entered into a drawing to win some free products, or you could do a cash prize, $50 or whatever. But that was just a really good incentive for people to just invite other people to listen to the Zoom opportunity meeting. And so there's just all kinds of things you can do to get your team motivated, to make them want to reach out and invite. And there are ways that you can, I think with your prospects, it's really good to offer them an incentive. Coming to a meeting or listening to a Zoom training, like Alice, who's on here, was telling me, like, they're having a meeting soon, and a massage therapist is going to be giving everybody 15-minute massages, like, at the meeting. I mean, hello, I'll go to a meeting if I'm going to get a 15-minute massage. So it's just being creative. Like, I think that is key, and offering guests a fun reason to, like, tune in. What's in it for them? And that is so key with everybody you're talking to. All they care about is what's in it for them. So you got to make it about that a little bit and give them a reason. Hey, if you listen to this, you're going to get $50 or possibly $50, or you're going to get some awesome products. So I think that's what we need to do more of, because, to be honest, inviting people to meetings these days, nobody wants to do that. They just want to sit at home. They need a reason. And so I think we just have to get creative with that. Let me go through. Gosh, I had so much more I wanted to talk about, but it's almost 9:30. Okay, daily tracking, blah, 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 blah. Be intentional with building your business. You can't build it by accident. Talked about that. I really wanted to get into social media stuff, because that's really been my hang up with how to build this business on social media. And I've been following a lot of other people, and especially after the GoPro event, people that are having success in other network marketing companies using social media. And I feel like we are missing a huge, missing the boat a little bit with LifeVantage, because I don't think any of us know how to do it right with social media. And, and there is a way that we can do it. We can capitalize on it. 50% of people's decisions are influenced by social media, which is crazy. So we need to get this company and the products, out there on social media, but in a very tactful way, where we're going to create curiosity and attract people to us. So since it's 9:30 though, I don't really have time to get into all of that, but it is a topic that I think we should talk about on a future training, and maybe I can talk with Sam too, and next week or something we can brainstorm with social media stuff. But I do want to open it up just for anybody that has questions, and just unmute yourself, and then we can maybe talk for a few minutes more.
Hey, Allison.
Hey, Alice.
I just wanted to share one thing from the last LifeVantage Academy that I really liked. You talked about how your LifeVantage business is your own journey, and not to compare yourself to other people, but just know that everything that you do, whether it's watch a video, talk to someone, have someone watch the ABC primetime, or whatever it is that you do, whether it's personal growth or actually, actions that you're taking towards increasing your business and your exposure, all of that is bringing you closer to your goal. So even if you get a no or no response or whatever it is, it's getting you closer. Some people are going to do more of those actions and get there faster, but just know that everything you do is getting you closer to your end point where you're trying to go. And I like that, because sometimes we feel like we're not making progress. And he says you are. You just don't know how many of those actions it's going to take. And everything that you do is going to get you closer. So I really like that. And then another thing that he said that I really appreciated is that when people are very passionate about something or very excited about something, they get discouraged easily and they give up. And so that's what's so hard about this, is we have this vision and this excitement, and we really want to make a difference. We really want to get somewhere. And that's almost, instead of using that to fuel us and make us stronger, it's often what causes us to come up with excuses and give up too quickly. And I'd never thought of it about it, but that's true. The more excited people get and the more they want something, the easier, it is for them to give up and not do anything.
Yeah.
And
I love I was going to say, I heard a saying, and I love the saying. It says, marry the process and divorce the result. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, if we could only do that. No, those are great points. It's true. We don't understand. Like, why? Why don't people get it?
He said it's just people. It's just the nature of people. And that's never going to change. So the quicker we understand people, the easier it's going to get.
Right. And it is getting easier. Don't you think, Alice? After a few years, we're just like, so, whatever. You didn't think Protandim is making you age faster instead of slower, whatever. Awesome. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you. I think that Krista is actually on the call. She's my new distributor.
Hi,
and
Krista.
I'm so excited that she's on tonight. I hope she's getting a lot out of this.
Me too. Well, I thank you guys so much for letting me be your host tonight. And I'm sorry we didn't get through more stuff. But we get to do it again next week. And so any last minute, anything anybody want to ask?
My name's Paula. I'm from Vancouver Island, Canada. Whoops, I've got my phone on too, so I'm squeaky. I just want to say thank you. That was great information, and you did an amazing job, especially if that was your first one. So you so killed it. So thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you, Paula.
You're welcome.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you soon, hopefully, on another Zoom training. And I would love to meet all you guys at Global. So thanks for tuning in tonight. Bye, Polly Grace. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you, Allison. Nice to meet you.
All right. Bye, Jennifer. Bye, Alice.
Bye.
Bye,
Good night.
Good night.